I think that Gevo is a $120 stock by 2024. In this video, I'll be giving you an update on what was said in the company's conference call and fireside chat last week. So let's remind ourselves what the company does. So Gevo produces aviation fuel as well as other liquid hydrocarbons, but they do that with net zero carbon emissions. And how do they do that? Well, they do that by sourcing the raw materials from plants. And the process of growing the plants actually removes carbon from the atmosphere. So even though at the end of the life cycle of their product, when the product goes into the engine of a plane and is burnt in the engine of the plane, that process actually releases carbon into the atmosphere. However, at the beginning, they actually removed carbon from the atmosphere, which means that if you look at the entire life cycle, it's actually net zero carbon emissions, which is an amazing thing. And I don't know that there is any other company in the world that is able to do what Gevo is able to do, and to do it at scale. So I want you guys to hear from the horse's mouth. So I'm going to play back key parts of the fireside chat that the company had last week, Thursday. So this video is the CEO, Patrick Grober, talking about the key milestones that they've achieved in the last 6 months.
A big one is that we got the debt off our back. We got enough cash to be able to go do the actual full development of a plant site without having to get it from third parties. We got the engineering firms going and doing the design and engineering work we need to put a big site together. We raised a lot of money. We have $530 million of cash and no debt. All those pieces are good. We are completing our RNG project. We're actually moving forward with that. We'll talk more about that today, I know, but that's a worthy project in and of itself. Our Net Zero 1 project, as I look forth, we got to go and do the engineering and design phase. We got to get the capital estimates down to about plus or minus 10%. That'll take us till the end of the year to do. And that actually is wicked fast for anybody wondering, because it's a big capital project. It's expanded. Remember, originally we were thinking about just doing 13 million gallons of hydrocarbons, going to sell out Laverne. Well, we exceeded the goal, got more. And so it is time to go big. And you know what? As we thought about that, we had all kinds of interesting ideas about we can do better at driving the footprint down by making our own energy complex, renewable energy complex. So that's all part of the design, and it's going at light speed, even though it seems slow.
One of the things that attracted me to Gevo back in November at $1 is the way that they structured their contracts. Take or pay contract, which means that the customer either has to take the product and pay for it, or if at some point in the future they decide not to take it, they still have to pay for it anyway. Very clever. So let's hear the company talk about their contract.
Start, and then Lynn can jump in, but these are about getting take or pay agreements. These are non-trivial agreements. It means that the companies we're partnering with are promising their balance sheet or put up a letter of credit from 2024 onward in case of Net Zero 1, or if it's a Net Zero 2, they're making some kind of substantial commitment. This isn't like simply, I'm going to build a plant and wish that people come. No, we're actually making deals with people that says, I make it, you buy it. Now that is needed for project finance. And that's what allows us to take a project finance approach. Lynn, you want to add anything to this?
No, it's critical to have that offtake agreement underpinning the operational period risk mitigation. I would say that maybe, in Gevo's long-term future, there's more, if there's an evolution towards financing that doesn't look like non-recourse, but right now we're at the non-recourse phase for projects.
So the company is looking to build 3 net zero carbon projects by 2024. So let's hear them talk about how much money, how much earnings the company will be looking to generate by 2024 from these projects.
North of $100 million of EBITDA, pretty substantially. I'd put it, more towards the 120 plus, but we
okay.
don't.
And this is where the CEO steps in again. So what we do is we talk about that publicly as $100 million EBITDA, even though we all believe it's probably higher. We got work to do, and so it gives us comfort and that we're probably going to get it right because there's excess profit from what we actually need. here to make an attractive project. So it could be quite a lot less than 100 and still be an attractive project. So 100's a comfortable spot to talk about. That's how we're going to be talking about it. So, I look at it as each net zero project's worth about $100 million per year of EBITDA.
Many people and investors have asked the question, why doesn't Gevo bring in a strategic partner? And this is what the CFO has to say about that.
Gevo. Sure. The 100% equity by Gevo, we take all the cash flow upstream and consolidate that. To the extent we share it, we're giving up value. We think the returns are very attractive. We may opt to bring in a minority investor so long as they don't complicate the story, or if they add strategic value, which that could happen. But right now we're busy making this, executing this project. We know what to do. We know how to get to the finish line. We have the resources to do it, and we really don't at this point want, unless it's strategically valuable, to bring other cooks into the kitchen.
The company is also looking to start producing renewable natural gas. Let's hear them talk about the timeline.
2, it starts to change. You want to talk about that, Lynn? First talk about the project and then talk about what we would expect to happen in 2022.
Yeah, on the RNG front, we're going to commence construction next month. We intend to finish that project by the end of the year and start operations in January of 2022. The project will, as Pat mentioned, generate 355,000 MMBTU per year of renewable natural gas available for injection in the pipeline.
Is Gevo looking to take advantage of any loans or subsidies from the government? Here's what they had to say.
We are looking at them and having discussions with them. In fact, we just had a discussion today about it with the DOE. And it's a question of, can we get the timelines to merge? The most important thing for us is get on a track, keep our timelines intact, get this plant built, right? We already believe we have a very attractive economic situation in hand. The city's done a great job of pinning down the tax-exempt bonds. Great. It all works already. I got a timeline. We can push it forward, and it works. And so, if there's money that's cheaper, makes the project even more profitable, and we can hold our timelines together, then we're open to it. And if not, we aren't. And it's not clear, because whenever you work with the government, it's one more layer of bureaucracy you have to deal with.
Gevo uses corn as its main raw material to produce its liquid hydrocarbon. So the last question is, apart from corn, because you don't have corn everywhere in the world throughout the year, so looking at it from an international perspective, apart from corn, what other plants and crops can Gevo potentially use to produce its products, its liquid hydrocarbons? This is what they had to say.
Yeah, in the Midwest U.S., corn's a great feedstock. Everywhere else in the world doesn't matter. Remember, our technology works with sugar, molasses, beet sugar. It works with wheat residuals, waste sugars, wood sugars. We simply do not care. What I do care about is that it is sustainably produced, because we're going to have to prove it, because we're out there with a net zero operation. So if someone makes it from some really poor process, I'm not that interested in it. I need it sustainable. I need it economical. I need it in abundant. So we aren't seeing causing shortages somewhere else, but we are indifferent. And around the world, that's what makes our stuff attractive, is because it works. It can work anywhere in theory where there's carbohydrates available.
So that's the end of the highlights from Gevo's fireside chat last week. In terms of share price and where the share price might be going and price targets, I really don't know. It's difficult to say, because from 2022 there will be some revenue coming in, but the real revenue doesn't come until 2024, which is 3 years from now or more. So we'll just have to watch price action and watch any news or contracts or anything like that, and we can decide from there. So guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Also leave me a comment, let me know what you think about Gevo, and also subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, and I'll see you guys at the next video. Peace.